Yes! Alrighty, what's up, everybody? My peeps. What's going on, you sexy bitches? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, one more time for another video. Video number 3. Alright, video number 3 on this beautiful Friday evening. Just about Friday, let's call it a Friday night, just about to hit dark. Here in the Northeast, sun has gone down. It's just about to get dark. So, we'll call it a Friday night. September the 12th, 2025. Thank you all for watching this particular video. Video number 3 on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down there in the description box below on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. And leave a comment on the video if you like. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you leave stupid comments, bye to you. You're out of here. You're gonna get sent to the Shadow Realm where Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul. So please don't do that. Just go somewhere else with that shit, because you ain't doing it on my channels. So you don't like it? Tough shit. And that's that. Follow me on social media: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And share the video all over the internet. Most importantly, tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, too bad for you. That's that. And your SOL. You know what that means. That's that. And if you're brand new here, because I know there's a lot of people that watch, but they haven't subscribed yet, but don't be scared. We don't bite here, you know, and the water's fine. Come on in, the water's fine. Grab yourself a nice cold one, and if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss anything else. Because if you do, you lose! And that's that. And thank you for everybody that has subscribed to my channels as of late. Thank you for all the support. And that's it. We're getting we're almost at the 3/4 mark on my Peter Joseph channel. I gained a lot of subs over the past couple of days, and we're getting close to 875 subscribers, getting on a road to 900. Not even Halloween yet, we're almost at 900. So there may be a chance. Maybe. I know we're about 128 away from 1,000. Can we get there? Maybe, but it all depends on you guys sharing my videos with your friends and liking the videos and all that other stuff. And that's that. But I'll be here through pretty much the rest of the year. And maybe into next year too. But we'll see what happens with all that. But should be here for the foreseeable future. Unless something catastrophic happens, which I doubt ever happen, but you never know. Well, we got that. But thank you for all the subs so far, and keep them coming. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is video number 3. Check out my last 2 videos, my AAA Worlds Collide predictions. They're up on they'll be up on my Shadows Lair channel, episode 84. So the link to that will be down below in the gobbledygook, as well as my little short / rant about the big news of the day. WrestleMania 43 officially announced for Saudi Arabia in 2027. So check that out. That also will be down below in the gobbledygook, or you can just go to my rant channel and look up the latest video. But it's a 3-minute short / video. So go to my shorts section and check out the latest short there, and you can watch it. And then all my other videos as well on my respective channels. And if you want to leave a comment, do so, but don't leave stupid comments. So I'm not going to entertain it and not care. That's that. Alright, we got SmackDown coming up in a little bit. And then we got Worlds Collide right after that from Vegas. So, can't wait. So, 5 hours of wrestling. Actually, well, take that back. 4 hours of wrestling coming your way in a little bit. So, we got a lot to do. So, you know, if you had a long day at work, getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for some wrestling, we got 4 hours of wrestling tonight. So, and then 2 hours tomorrow with Collision. So, with that. Jacob deGrom is pitching at Citi Field tonight. Oh, don't get me started with that. With Jonah Tong against deGrom. And already the Mets are losing. What else is new? Mets are done. Still have a slim 1.5 game lead on the final wild card with 6. After tonight, it'll be 15 to play. 2 more weeks, Met fans. Can the Mets, limp into the playoffs? I mean, they have a good. Maybe if they start winning, they have a possible shot at that second wild card. They're only 3.5 behind, but the Padres and the Giants and the Dodgers are going to be playing a lot of games in the next 2 weeks. So the Mets, get their act together. Maybe they can make that second wild card and not have to face the Dodgers possibly if they get the final wild card. Because it's probably going to be a dogfight between the Phillies and the Dodgers for that second and third spot. And the first 2 seeds get a bye. So, in the wild card round, so we'll see what happens if the Mets can get their shit together. I don't think they're going to beat deGrom tonight, so there was probably no way. They're already down 1-0 as far as I know. So, and Judgy Wudgy, actually starting to get hot. Now he passed Joe DiMaggio, I believe, for number 4 on the all-time Yankees home run list. So, we all know the number 1 is Babe Ruth, so is he going to get there? Maybe. But, good for you, Judgy Wudgy. Good for you. Take another steroid and you'll beat Babe Ruth's record, beat an all-time Yankees home run leader. A couple more steroids and a couple more years, you'll hit that. But, don't get hurt every fucking year, Surprisingly, he's still playing with that bum elbow. But we got that. We got football coming up on the weekend, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, we got that. Excuse me. Alright, before we get to SmackDown, really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your Monday Night Raw thoughts. You understand? Thoughts. Alright, my overall thoughts of Monday Night Raw this past Monday, September the 8th, 2025, from the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, which means the good land. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And our new commentary team of Joe Tessitore and, for now, Corey Slade, because bad news, Wade Barrett is on vacation. So I don't know who's gonna take over tonight with Michael Cole, because I believe Corey Graves is doing Triple A tonight with Conan and JBL, unless JBL is taking over. I don't know who's taking over for Michael Cole on SmackDown tonight, with Michael Cole, I should say, on SmackDown, but we'll see where we get there in a few minutes. But we got that. Alright, we're still on the road to WrestlePalooza. We're about a week away, as of this video. A week from tomorrow. So, we're going to hear from AJ Lee. That ass. We're going to hear from her with, Punky Brewster, her husband, and Seth and Becky. More of that. And a whole lot more. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Alright, we started with the recap of last week where AJ made her triumphant return to SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois, which was epic. And the rating went up slightly, like a 1.585. Not bad. Dynamite's rating actually went up this week. Interesting. 500 and, 585, I think? Something like that. So, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, we got that. So we got that. And then, we see the man, Becky Lynch, but she doesn't want to be on camera. No camera splits. So she doesn't want to be on camera. So we get that. And then, we go to commentary. We hear Corey Graves referencing, Wade Barrett on vacation, which pretty much surprised them, as they heard something about Wade being exiled over the weekend. Ooh, points for the rumor there, Corey. The whole, Wade Barrett, Nikki Bella situation, where Wade was like, get out of here, you're done. You're off commentary, we'll get somebody else. But, points for the reference. Alright, we get that. Alright, so we started with the Yeet Man, Jey Uso, comes out with his brother Jimmy. The Usos are in your city. And they come out to a big ovation from the crowd. And Jay brings up the Vision, or the Brawnies, B&B Security. Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, who on cue come out. Braun is so annoyed he can barely speak. He's pissed. Eat a Snickers, dude. So Bronson has to hold him back. The fans want them to acknowledge our tribal chief. Put up your ones in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, and acknowledge him, our tribal chief, the OTC one, and that's Roman Reigns. Alright, so Bronson promises revenge for what happened to Paul Heyman at SummerSlam. Was it SummerSlam? I think it was SummerSlam. I forget. Yeah, I think it was at SummerSlam. Whatever it was. But we move on. Clash of Champions, Line of Champions, whatever it was. The last pay-per-view, we just say like that. But Jimmy calls them PB and J security. Nice. And they start mocking Heyman, saying, the wise man, aka the Orca. And then Jay goes, what did Jay say? He looks like one. And then Jimmy, broke character immediately. I was like, wow. I was like, he looks like one. I was like, shit. Then they get to the point, they want a tag match at WrestlePalooza. It's all set up. And they're ready to fight right now. But then, Eli Drake, that's not insult, that's a fact of life. He comes out to brawl with B&B security, which doesn't end well. So the Usos have to save his ass with stereo flippy gibbity news. We get that, and they clear the ring. Eli then shoves Bronson into Jay by accident. Oh, remember that for later. And then Jay and Eli get into a big old argument that ends the segment. And then after the break, Eli argues with Adam Pearce and says, if I wanted to go after Jay, I would have done that. So he wants one of the Brawns in later on, and he'll even take on LeBron James, Bronny Jr., or Charles Bronson. Oh, Charles Bronson is a little bit, out of your league, and he's dead. So you want to fight a dead guy? Great. I mean, if he was say Chuck Norris, I'd have been, actually interested because he's still alive. But Charles Bronson is dead. So, man, who gives a fuck about Bronny Jr. and who gives a fuck about Gabe Braun? So that would actually work. But, so he's like, it doesn't even matter if I win or lose. If I win or lose, because I just want my hands on one of them. That sounds really Alright, so we see which one of the B&B security takes on Eli and probably beats his ass. We get that. Alright, then we go to AJ Bad Hair Styles. He takes on Grande Germanicano, otherwise known as Mr. Ludwig Spears, otherwise known as Mr. Tiffany Stratton. This was a pretty interesting match. They fight to the floor, and then finally we get the bell. And then Joe Tessa was like, after all that, we got the bell! Alright, so AJ loads up the phenomenal forearm, but then another Americano, I think that was probably Tyler Bate, Mr. Quads himself, next to Randy, of course. He comes out, joining up with Ludwig Spears to send AJ into the ring steps. Ow. Then we come back, and they go back and forth, and then Ludwig Spears runs up the corner for a blockbuster. Very nice for a near fall. AJ slips out of what looked like a Styles Clash, but then I think Tyler Bate got on the apron, and then Dragon Lee comes out to take him out, which leads to AJ rolling through a pin attempt into the Styles Clash, which was epic. That sequence was just good, great, and AJ gets the win in exactly 9 minutes. Great match there. So we move on. Alright, then we go to the back, where we have Adam Pearce talking to my third amazingly hot Asian wife. You know her, you love her. She's crazy, but I love her, and that's Io Sky. So they're talking, and Nikki Smelly Bella, she comes in and interrupts, and we found out that Stephanie Vaquero is apparently out of the contract signing, which they were supposed to do that on Raw. I don't know why that didn't happen, because I guess timing issues. What else is new? But she'll be around for the title match at WrestlePalooza. And then my other two amazingly hot Asian wives, you know them, you love them, you can't get enough of them. My first amazingly hot Asian wife, Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka except my dick. And wifey number 2, you know her, you love her, the pirate princess, my pirate princess, and that's Kairi! Saying, Nikki isn't happy about that, saying, hey, I was talking to Io here. And then Asuka's like, shut up. And then we get Nikki versus Asuka out of that. And then Io's like, why can't I have any friends? Basically. Well, Nikki Bella ain't exactly a friend. I'm saying, Io, you need better, Mommy's your friend, but, Nikki, nah. We don't like Nikki around here. So we got that. So I'll side with Asuka-san, or Kana-chan, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, get that. Alright, then we got a video on AJ. It was very nice. Very evil, very nice. Let me get that. Alright, then we go to the ladies. Speaking of the ladies, we got the Bird Lady, the Lassie Beach from Ireland. Lyra Valkyria, she takes on Raquel Rodriguez with Roxanne Perez at ringside. It was a pretty decent match for what it was. Excuse me. And, where was I? Alright. Roxy, interferes, gets taken out, but then, Raquel catches Lyra on top, hits the Tahana Bomb. 1, 2, 3, in under 13 minutes. Raquel Rodriguez gets the win over Lyra, make me really happy. And, that's that. We move on. Alright, we go to the back, we got Patagon Zero Miedo. Alright, so he's there with War Machine, Eric and Ivar. They greet each other, I guess in English. Well, I don't know if Eric and Ivar know Spanish, I don't know. But anyway, so they greet each other. Pentagon talks to Adam Pearce, saying, I want the Intercontinental title, and I want Dominic Guerrero. They say, well, you gotta line. You gotta wait in line. I don't know if AJ's done with Dom yet, but we'll see. So Pearce doesn't really say no, but then Alexander Rusev smash that pussy! Yeah! He comes in and says, hey, I want a title shot too. So Pentagon gets in his face and says, okay, pero me and you will have a match. Okay. I'm okay with it. We got that. Alright, speaking of AJ Bad Hairstyles, he thanks Dragon Lee for I guess, helping him get rid of the El Grande Americanos. Well, probably Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne, whatever one. And then Jimmy Uso comes in and is like, hey, where's Jay? Jay, finally comes in from wherever he is, who's ready to leave the building. I don't know why. But Jimmy says, hey, we need to be here for, you need to be here for the match between Eli Drake and Bronson Reed. Jay's not happy with Eli, says that match is about them, it's not about me. Oos. So then Jimmy says, you're sounding just like Roman did when, back in the day. And then Jay says, well, sounding like myself isn't really working here. And then he just leaves the building. For now. Because, when people actually leave the building, they don't really leave the building. They go in the parking lot, take a shit, or whatever they do. We got that. Alright, we move on. Alright, then we get to AJ Lee. That ass wearing the Women's Intercontinental title, which she stole from Becky on SmackDown. Talks about her says, hey, where were you 10 years ago? And people confused millennial parents were excited on Friday, so she reintroduced herself. My name is AJ Lee, and I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. I just remember, ladies and gentlemen, I am your mother and girlfriend's wet dream come true. And I am the hater's worst nightmare come true. You can't get rid of me. You never will. I'll haunt you in the afterlife. That's a fact. On God, bitches. We move on with that. Talks about her 10 years away from the company. She went on a mental health journey, which got a humongous therapy chant. Therapy! Therapy! Marks! We'll chant anything. Golden snack cakes. Remember that in Ring of Honor? Some of you remember that? I still remember that fucking baby. It was Manhattan Mayhem 3 upstairs in the Grand Ballroom. It was Delirious against then Austin Aries. And Austin Aries is cutting a promo on Delirious. And for some odd reason, Austin Aries pulls out some Twinkies. And he says, you know what these are? These are golden snack cakes, which are harder to chant. And then out of nowhere, we just started a golden snack cakes chant. I didn't start it, but somebody started it. And then it just picked up. Golden snack cakes! And then Austin Aries looked like a dick. Like, oh, you can't chant that! Oh, yeah, we can. Moron. Anyway, that was the actual event that I almost got hit by the chair by Jay Briscoe. I told him about that. I was like, you almost hit me at at Manhattan Mayhem 3 when you guys and the All-On Express were fighting on the outside. I was like right on the, I told him, I showed him when the entrance was this way. I was like right here, front row. And I was like, I think it was, you tried to hit, I think it was Red Titus, Addicted to Love, in the face with it, he threw a chair, I think at Red Titus. And if he didn't duck, it would have hit me flush in the face if I didn't move. But I don't have, back in the day, I had quick reflexes, but, so I don't whoa! So, Jay's like, whoa, sorry about that. I'm like, nah. I would have took it like a champ. Because I do. Because I wrestled back in the day. But I guess. Alright, so we got a therapy chant. And, AJ's like, I have some names I can give you. Okay. I don't know about doctors or anything like that, but anyway. So then, Beckett Lynch comes out and takes off her glasses and says, oh, is that a shiner? So they go back and forth, blah, blah. And then, Becky brings out Seth Rollins, and then Punk was, eventually gonna come out. So Punk tries to go after Rollins, tries to hit the GTS, but Rollins escaped, and then Rollins gets all mad. He's like, you want a match? You got a match at WrestlePalooza! So we got that mixed tag team match now official for WrestlePalooza, and then AJ kisses the Women's Intercontinental title, and then throws it right at Becky's feet. And that's it. Great fucking promo, and that's that. Alright, speaking of crazy promos, we got Bayley! Give me a hug. Talks about how she needs to make this right because Lyra was the last person she wanted to hurt. She's hurt a lot of people over the years, but they deserved it. So she's not sure how Lyra can actually forgive her when she can't even forgive herself. And then she hears the voices in her head once again. But then she insists that everything will be okay. Right. You're just talking crazy, Bayley, right? Well, which Bayley are we talking to? Am I talking to here? I don't know. We got that. Alright, so 5 minutes of SmackDown. I gotta change the channel here. So gotta heat up the rich man's cable. Just we're watching. Oh, Megan's on. Nice. The first Megan, not the second one. Megan. Oh, this is near the end where she dies. Megan, you are incapable of killing me! Alright, sure. I will kill you with this pen! Okay. Look at that. Alright, so Bayley's still hearing her voices in her head. And we got that. Alright, Pentagon and Rusev was a pretty meh match. Rusev wins after Pentagon got a quick code red in for a near fall. Goes up top, but walks right into the Machka kick. I thought that Rusev was gonna lock in the accolade, but Machka kick actually works. Knock Pentagon out, and Rusev gets the win. And maybe he's in line to face Dom Dom for the Intercontinental title. We'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, then we're going to look back at that epic match between John Cena and Sami Zayn 2 on SmackDown with Beastie coming back, Brock Lesnar laying them both out. We're going to hear from Brock to open the show in just about 5 minutes, and we got that. Alright, Jimmy Uso comes in to see Eli Drake, explains that what happened earlier was an accident. Sure. Jimmy seems to accept the apology and says they have beef with the Vision. And Eli says there is no we in WWE. Actually, there is. Because the Usos keep costing him matches. And Eli's like, if you want to help, don't help because I'm doing this by myself. Okay. We'll see what happens with that. Move on. Alright, then we get to Nikki Smelly Bella taking on Asuka. And boy, Asuka beat the fuck out of Nikki Bella. I loved it. Kairi is at ringside. Just looking hot as always. Asuka hits the Empress Impact, that sexy hip attack, and then locked in the Asuka lock. And Nikki Bella does what she does best and taps out in under 10.5 minutes. So, surprisingly, it wasn't a squash match per se, but damn, Asuka looks strong against Nikki Bella. Something you would probably wouldn't see back in the day. Because, Nikki Bella could probably beat Asuka on her worst day. But Asuka just beat the crap out of Nikki Bella. I loved it. Look at that. Alright, we go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse, and they're happy with Raquel Rodriguez's win over Lyra, and ready for Roxanne Perez to do it next week. But she's got Rose Collide to worry about with Misty Iguana and Lola Vice and Finn Balor. Gotta worry about that. Dominic Guerrero comes in, says, I've been getting ready for my match with El Hijo del Vikingo for the Triple R Mega title at Rose Collide. Everyone's like, where were you? Were you off with El Grande Americano? So the team thinks El Grande Americano wants something in return. So like, I help you, you give me title shot. But Domino says it wouldn't happen if they didn't get banned from ringside last week. So Domino got pissed and he leaves. And then Roxy's like, I'll go talk to him. Right. I think you're too young for Dom, and he's already spoken for. And you're spoken for too with Drake Moreau, so I don't know. Unless you want to cheat on each other with your, go, if you want the D so much there, Roxanne, you don't have to go to Dom, you have to come to me. But it is what it is. Speaking of people that get the D from me, that's the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi! They come up to Nikki Smelly Bella, who doesn't really like them, and then Nikki pushes Asuka, and then Asuka's like, hey, you bitch! And then she's about to do something, and then Mommy Rhea Ripley, my brutality! She comes in and says, do we have a problem here? And then Asuka's like, yeah, I have problem! I have 2 big problems, you and you. And then she like, I was getting excited with that tongue. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Rhea asked about Io, and then Asuka's like, I don't want to talk about Io. And then Kairi's like, and then we hear, Kairi! And then Kairi's like, ah! And then she left. That was epic. I love when she does that. Kairi! We need that. We need a shirt. ASAP. Great. Kairi's been a gem in these segments when she's just standing there, and then Asuka's like, and she moves over, and Asuka's like, Kairi! Alright, Megan 1.0 is just about to hit, as we get the ending with the electronic device going off, which leads into, really, Megan 2.0. We got that. And that's it. Alright, so Megan is off the air, about to start SmackDown with Beastie Weekly. So good it brings out Beastie. Alright, so the Beast will come out. We got that. Alright, we're gonna end my Monday Night Raw thoughts with Eat Like Drake and Bronson Reed, which was a garbage fresh Braun Breaker at ringside. We get that. Pretty much, I think Bronson won the match, I think, and then it ended in chaos, and the Usos come out, and they help Eli, but then Jay super kicks Eli, and then spears him, and then Jimmy's like, oh, what? And that's it. Alright, so that basically ends the show. SmackDown wasn't that bad, but I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of SmackDown in the comment section down below, and like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, Going to Watch SmackDown is on the air from Norfolk, Virginia. I guess at the University of Virginia. What arena? We're at the Scope. That's a legendary arena, by the way, for all you WCWites. Alright, so we start out with Randy Orton as Monotonous Voice! He's drinking probably some coffee, or maybe some whiskey, Fireball, who knows. He's going to be taking on Babucho Drew McIntyre, who's walking down the stairs, I guess, of the arena, looking great. Tiffy time! Tiffy Stratton looking amazing, oy, oy, oy. With her title, she's going to defend against Jade Cargill tonight, who's got a, what is that? Is that a plushie? Or is it just her phone? Her phone looks like a plushie. Great. She's looking great, as always. Alright, SmackDown is on the air from the Norfolk Scope Arena, a legendary arena in the history of professional wrestling, from WCW up to the NWA, up to WWE. Alright, so, wow! Vic Joseph and Booker T Sucker on commentary, so it's NXT on SmackDown! Yeah, but no Stephanie Fracourt. Oh yeah, man! Oh yeah! And then Vic Joe's like, hey, we're on SmackDown, Booker! Book, we're on SmackDown! Give me a high five! No. no SmackDown for you. No high five for you. Go fuck yourself. Alright, so, no Michael Cole. I don't know why. Maybe Michael Cole's doing, I doubt it, but maybe Michael Cole's off this week. I don't know. But, no Michael Cole this week, so we got Vic Joseph and Booker T taking over for just temporarily. He's not gonna, I wish it was permanent, but not. But, Raw, we're gonna have Joe Tessitore and Corey Slave this Monday night on the program. And then next Friday, we'll be back with, well, I don't know if Blake Barry will be back from vacation on Monday. We'll see. But Corey Slave should be back on SmackDown next Friday night. And then we'll see what happens for WrestlePalooza. Probably Michael Cole, maybe Wade Barrett, maybe Corey Slave there. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so we got a recap of that epic John Cena, Sami Zayn 2 Electric Boogaloo match, which was great. And then Beastie ruined it. We got that. So we're going to hear from Beastie in a little bit. That's that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys pretty much after Worlds Collide. We'll talk about SmackDown, and then pretty much end your Fatal 4-Way Friday of Insaneness. Something like that. So we got that. So, gonna be a great night of SmackDown, then Worlds Collide. If you can't watch it on Netflix, you can watch it on the WWE YouTube page. So fire up the WWE YouTube page on your phone, your computer, your tablet, even your PS5, and watch great Mexican wrestling and a little bit of WWE sprinkled in, and that's that. Alright, I'm out of here. We're gonna go watch Beastie, so let's get ready for the Beast! Beastie! Alright, Wheatley's I'm so good it brings out Beastie! Brock Lesnar is coming out right now. Alright, let's go have some fun with the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and enjoy a great SmackDown tonight from the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. And that's it. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Until next time. Oh, once again, by the way, SmackDown, 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and all that other good stuff. So, I'm out of here. Until next time. Peace, motherfuckers!